Well, hello everyone. It's time for another story, but first we'll say hi to our Christmas ornaments. So there we have Cleo, Winnie. See, Grandpa put up sparkly stuff on the tree, all his garland. And James. And we have Robin and Sterling. Yep. So today we are going to read a story about Charlie and Mouse again. And this time they have a visitor called Grumpy. But first we'll go over some of our words. And the words are Dad. So Dad is not N-O-T, a dog. Yes, Y-E-S, Mom, M-O-M, was in the kitchen, in the, T-H-E, kitchen, making dinner yesterday. It, I-T, was delicious. I was not with you at the table, but we were on FaceTime. She and he were with me. And no, I did not eat a turkey leg. Okay, so today's story is Charlie and Mouse and Grumpy. All right, the table of contents tells us there's 4 stories: medium, pouncing, songs, and goodbye. Medium. So here we have a picture. Ooh, look, somebody's at the door. I guess that's Grumpy. A suitcase. Oh, there's a picture up there, too. There was a knock at the door. There was a knock at the door. It was Grumpy. Grumpy! Looks like he's coming inside. Charlie and Mouse cried. Charlie and Mouse, cried Grumpy. You are getting so big. Yes, said Charlie, I am getting so big. I can read and swim, and I can eat 3 hot dogs. Well, that's a lot of hot dogs, said Grumpy. Charlie nodded. With mustard. Mouse shook his head. I am not getting big. Well, said Grumpy, you are bigger than you were. You are not getting small. No, said Mouse, I am not getting small. Then what are you getting? Asked Grumpy. Mouse thought about that. I am getting medium, he said. Aha, said Grumpy. What is it like being medium? When you are medium, said Mouse, you can read some books, but also people read books to you. What else? Asked Grumpy. Mouse thought again. Well, when you're a medium, you can swim, but your mom sits on the steps and watches just in case. Aha, said Grumpy. It sounds very nice to be medium. It is, said Mouse. And how many hot dogs can you eat? Asked Grumpy. When you are medium. You can still eat 3 hot dogs, Mouse said, but not with mustard. Mustard is not medium. Well, that makes sense, said Grumpy. Grumpy carried his bag inside. Charlie helped. Mouse helped too. When they were done, Charlie said, "Do you know what?" "No," said Grumpy. "No," said Mouse. They did not know what. "It is almost lunchtime," said Charlie. "Wonder what they're going to have for lunch." "Well, when it comes to hot dogs," said Grumpy, "I am medium too." I think that means he could eat 3 hot dogs, but not with mustard. Our next story is pouncing. Charlie woke up. Mouse woke up. "Grumpy is here," said Charlie. "Should we pounce on him?" asked Mouse. "Of course," said Charlie, and they snuck downstairs. Grumpy was in the kitchen. Grumpy was drinking coffee. Mouse looked sad. "Why are you sad?" said Grumpy. "We wanted to pounce on you," said Mouse. "So pounce on me," said Grumpy. "We can only pounce when you are sleeping," said Charlie. "It is a rule," said Mouse. "Well, that makes sense," said Grumpy. "But you will have to get up very early to catch me sleeping." After breakfast, Charlie and Mouse drew robots with robot dogs. Grumpy sat in the armchair. He watched Charlie and Mouse draw. He read a book. Then his nose began to snore. "Grumpy?" asked Mouse. Grumpy's nose kept snoring. "Hey, Grumpy!" shouted Charlie. Grumpy sat up. What? Mouse laughed. "You were taking a nap," said Charlie. "I was not taking a nap." "No way." "Well, it looked like a nap," said Mouse. "It looked a lot like a nap," said Charlie. "Really?" "I was just resting my eyes," said Grumpy. "Really?" asked Charlie. "If you say so," said Mouse. Charlie and Mouse drew robot cats to go with the robot dogs. Grumpy's nose began to snore again. Mouse set down his pencil. "Charlie, do you know what I'm thinking?" said Mouse. "Yes," Charlie said, "I do." "And what do you think?" "I think they went and pounced on Grumpy." All right, the next story is called Songs. So here we have a picture. Look, there's a red car that looks like it's driving away. And then looking out the window, what's going on here? Mom and Dad were missing. Mom and Dad were on a date. It was Grumpy night. Grumpy night! Who likes pizza?" asked Grumpy. "Everyone," said Charlie. "With extra cheese," said Mouse. They ate pizza. "Who likes forts?" "Everyone," said Charlie. "I'll get a flashlight," said Mouse. And they built a fort. Pretty cool fort. "Who likes movies?" asked Grandpa. "Everyone," said Charlie. "But not too scary," said Mouse. They watched a movie about a not too scary dragon. "Who likes to go to bed?" asked Grumpy. "Oh, now you're being silly," said Charlie. "Nobody likes to go to bed." "Well, it looks like Mouse does," said Grumpy. Mouse fell asleep watching the movie. "Oh, that's different," said Charlie. "He's not in bed." "Oh, you're right about that," said Grumpy. "We should take him then." "There. I'll help," said Charlie. Look at Charlie helping carry Mouse to bed. "Now you have to sing the goodnight song," said Charlie. "It's a rule." "I'm not a very good singer," said Grumpy. "Please," said Charlie. "I will try," said Grumpy. And Grumpy sang. When he was finished, Charlie said, "You're not a very good singer, Grumpy." "I told you so," said Grumpy. "Also, That's not the right song, said Charlie. What is the right song? Asked Grumpy. Is it the one about painting ponies? No, that is not the right song, said Charlie. Is it the one about buying a bird? Asked Grumpy. No, that is not the right song, said Charlie. Well, is it the one about jumping in a river? Asked Grumpy. No, that is not the right song either, said Charlie. I know, said Charlie. I will sing the song. Then you will know it. Okay, said Grumpy, and Charlie sang. Can you sing it again? Asked Grumpy. I didn't quite get it all. Charlie sang the song again. Well, most of it anyway, because look what happened. It was such a good night song that Grumpy fell asleep. Our last story is goodbye. So here, looks like Grumpy might be packing a suitcase. Mouse is there with his blanket, Charlie, and they're watching. Charlie and Mouse watched Grumpy pack. Blanket watched too. They were very quiet. Mouse sighed. Blanket is sad. Why is Blanket sad? Asked Grumpy. Blanket is sad because of the rain, said Mouse. Oh, said Grumpy. I thought maybe it was something else. Grumpy zipped up the bag, and Mouse sighed again. Blanket is still sad. Well, said Grumpy, it is still raining. Yes, said Mouse. Also, Blanket wants a cookie. I don't have any cookies, said Grumpy. I didn't think so, said Mouse. Grumpy wheeled his suitcase away. Charlie followed Grumpy. Mouse followed Grumpy. They stood at the door, and Grumpy put on his shoes, and Grumpy put on his hat, and Grumpy hugged Charlie and Mouse. You know, he said, sometimes it has to rain so that you can be happy when the sun comes out again. Did you ever think about that? Mouse thought about that. No, Mouse said. Blanket would be happy if it was sunny all the time. Blanket likes the sun. Oh, said Grumpy. I guess I was wrong. Grumpy hugged Charlie and Mouse again. Grumpy said, don't get too medium. Okay, Mouse? Mouse nodded. Grumpy opened the door. Charlie said, you know what, Grumpy? What? Asked Grumpy. I don't think Mouse was talking about Blanket, said Charlie. I didn't think Blanket is a sad one. You don't? Said Grumpy. No, said Charlie. I think he was talking about me. So Charlie and Mouse are kind of sad because it's time for Grumpy to say goodbye. And they wrote him a letter. Dear Grumpy, you forgot your toothbrush. The X's and O's for hugs and kisses. By Charlie, and they signed it Charlie and Mouse. And P.S. Come back again soon. So that was a fun visit with Grumpy for Charlie and Mouse. And that is our story today. So I hope you liked the story and that you were having a lot of fun times with Mom and Dad. And I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.